Yo, what's good, fam? It's your man Jay. I'm back with another episode of Evolutionary Comics, and today is my Friday fallback. I'm gonna try to make this a regular, consistent episode type thing where I'm talking about what I picked up in the past week, what I've read so far, and what I personally think about it. I'm cutting down on my pull list because my pull list has been incredibly out of whack, for the entire year. But now I'm going after stuff that I find of more quality. And I want to bring that to you so you guys, aren't going and trying to pick up, 1,000 books, having FOMO and everything, because it is about the reading for me. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell you what I think about each book, and it is, since it is the Friday fallback. I do want to, talk about some of the events that have happened in the past week or the things that I've seen. And a lot of crazy stuff has happened. One of the crazy things that I've seen is all of these people jumping out and saying now that they're supporting the recast of T'Challa, since it's been announced that Marvel is actually looking for someone to put in that role as the Black Panther in Marvel Comics in the role of T'Challa. A lot of people didn't want to see that happen. They wanted, to let Shuri carry the torch, or a lot of people were talking about, letting the little kid become the new Black Panther, which completely is asinine to me. But those people, a lot of those people that have that kind of thought process, they're not Black Panther fans. They're not T'Challa fans. But they're, Marvel movie fans. They're cinematic fans. They're the people that want to go see the movies, and they're totally disregarding the core fans. And I say core because, the core of us are comic book fans. But even without the movies, we were already immersed into this culture. So, not saying that they don't have, a right to their opinion, but they definitely don't carry as much weight as us that have been part of the comic book culture for so long. And the Black Panther character, T'Challa, the character, has a lot more meaning to me. For me, Black Panther T'Challa is the equivalent of Superman or Batman to the mainstream. And he's probably the most prolific black character, So, it is important that they get that right. And I don't want to see anybody, talk about, Chadwick Boseman did such a great job that nobody else can do it, because that's total BS. That's always been a silly ass notion to me. And a very unpopular opinion that I've always had. Rest in power to Chadwick, mad respect, but I don't think that he was. I don't think he was the best choice, even when he was selected to be, Black Panther. I don't think that's not who I would have chosen to be Black Panther. But he did a phenomenal job for what Marvel wanted. To me, he didn't fit the mythos of Black Panther from the comic books, and that's something that I thought was very important, and I still think it's very important that that character that Christopher Priest, Reginald Hudlin, Don McGregor, even Stan Lee, all of those guys, Jack Kirby, what the person, the persona of T'Challa, that Black Panther that they wrote him to be, that's what I felt like they should have conveyed on the screen. But I have more opinions about that. I'm gonna leave it alone because I can get long-winded about it. Maybe one day soon, possibly. Stay tuned. I may even do a video dedicated to simply my feelings and emotions on that. I've stayed away from it because, I always try not to be, go along with the crowd. I'll try to offer something a little bit different, but something entertaining at the same time. That's one of the things. The whole with that, people are constantly talking about, who should be Storm and all of that, and people have all of these different thought processes as far as who these characters should be. But then once it happens, then they be like, oh, that person did a great job. So we'll see what happens with the whole recast thing. Um, what else? This past week, I watched the Pink Riot comic show, and they had Vita Ayala on the show. They did a great job, very informative. I'm a big fan. A lot of people really didn't pay attention to some of Vita Ayala's earlier books, like Live Wire, that Keisha pulled out her full collection. I wanted to pull out mine. I'm with all these comics. I can't remember exactly what box that those are in. One of my not my mainstream. I wanted to say my indie boxes or something like that. But yeah. So anyway, I enjoyed her work, and if you want to see that interview, go over to the Pink Riot comic show, and you guys can check that out. The writer for Storm was on I believe Comics Are Dope, and I want to say that on the Black Comic Lords channel as well. I can't remember. I didn't watch either one of those yet. I'm going to go back after reading this last issue of Storm, because I got my opinions on that. So I'm gonna check that out. I don't know, a lot of crazy stuff. Like I say, it's been a week, so we're still jumping into this 2025 thing. I keep having to catch myself and not say 2024. Anyway, that was a lot already. So let's see if my voice is somewhat back, and let's get it. All right, so the first book that I want to show you guys is one that I'm actually in the middle of reading. I'm thinking I'm like about almost halfway through, but this is Shadow Cabinet number 3, and this is being written by Joe Illidge, and it's dope. First of all, this Nicholas Draper Ivy cover is hella dope. The thing that caught my eye immediately was right here where he put Dwayne McDuffie on there and Dennis Cowan's name. I thought that was dope on there, and it's a lot of other stuff. Hardware. I'm just noticing all the graffiti on there. I thought this was a really dope cover as opposed to the cover A. I think this is cover B. But Nicholas Draper Ivy, he always does a great job with his artwork and everything. This book, it seems like it is longer. It's 36 pages, but it seems like it's longer, and everything in it is giving you information. So, all right, so basically what's going on in this particular issue, it is showing a little backstory of the Alva family, and how the young lady Angela portrays into the family and what her role was. She gives more insight into who the family is, and if you don't remember, the Alva family is one of the Alva family members. I think it was Edwin who was the benefactor for hardware. So I can't remember if it's Edwin or which one, but anyway, there was brothers, and they intermingled. One went one way, one went the other way, and then like later they, the families crossed up or whatever. They give more information. Like I said, I'm only halfway through. It's really good. It's really entertaining. It gives a lot of information, and yeah, it's really worth the pickup. This Shadow Cabinet, and it's crazy because hardware has been captured. The Blood Syndicate has been basically, I ain't gonna say they neutralized, but they down. And Rocket she has to escape from somewhere where she is. She has to get away from where she is. I don't want to give too much information, but she is playing a central figure in this particular book. So anyway, this is a really good read. So far, like I said, I'm only halfway through, and I already am giving this like 3.5, 4 stars for this particular issue. You guys definitely need to check this out, because Mr. Illidge, I hope I'm saying the name right, but Mr. Illidge is doing a great job with this writing. I'm absolutely loving this, and this is one of the premier pickups for my week with comics. All right, so next up, and this one, this is something that came out last week, and this is Shadow Man Soul Eaters #4. And the reason why I'm holding up two books is because I actually just read #2. I picked up both of these this past week, and the reason why is because I didn't pick it up before. Anyway, I picked up #2, and I thought I was going to be able to grab #3, but I guess I waited too late. And these are hard to find because not every comic book store actually has been ordering these. I did find Wonder Water Comics, card comics and games or whatever. In Clearwater, it's going down further down 19. But you can pick that up there. Well, normally you could pick it up, but #3 is hasn't been there. So I have to go and try to find this either digitally or find somewhere else, another comic book shop that has it. My main LCS, they don't carry this one unless I request it, and I just haven't requested it yet. But anyway, it's a really good story. Jack Boniface and his group, his little clique, they're under fire by somebody who was part of his clique, his actual love interest in the story, and she's being kind of puppeteered by a demon, and Jack has to try to save himself because he's under fire, and her as well. So it's a really good story. They're really jumping into it. I can't wait to get to 3 and 4. Haven't even cracked open #4 because I definitely don't want to skip ahead and see what's going on before I find out what happened in issue 3. But I picked these up 2 and 4 so far. So yeah. Oh, and shout out to the writer AJ Ampadu and the artist Sergio Munoz. Can't pronounce that name, but I can read. But let you guys read it. You figure it out yourself. But anyway, it's on Valiant Comics, Alien Books, and it's the resurgence of the Valiant universe. So you guys check that out too. So yeah. All right, moving along. And the next book I'm going to talk about and I want to always try to end on a positive note whenever I'm kind of going over books and everything. And that's this Storm book. And like I said previously, the writer for this particular book right now, he was on Comics Are Dope with my man BJ Kicks. And I think he was also on Black Comic Lords. I'm not sure. But you guys, just look up both of those channels. You should be checking them out anyway. If you're watching my channel, I'm like, the junior to those two major channels. So anyway, they do a lot of interviews and talk to a lot of creators, give a lot of good information. I try to tune in as much as possible. And I missed that one, but I'm going to go watch the rewind of it. Back to this book. So basically, Storm is invited to Doom's castle to go see Dr. Doom, and it throws me off because I'm sensitive about Storm only because not just because she's the queen of I guess the untitled queen of Black comics, but Black comic book characters, but because she's also T'Challa's love interest. And I hate to see, her paired up with anybody else, but especially like with Wolverine and Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is, Black Panther, one of Black Panther's greatest enemies. He's always going at it with him. And why would she fraternize with that person? I'm the kind of person that, whether you my girl now or you my ex, you don't fraternize with the ops. Plain and simple. And in this book, she goes to his castle and she's having a little bubble bath and she's putting on this nice lingerie to go sit down and have dinner with this fool. And, he's on some nonsense as usual, spewing a lot of disrespect and acting like, it's almost like, those people that be like, you're pretty cool for a colored guy. That's the way Doom comes across in this. He's really shady in my opinion, and I think that's why I like him so much, because he's the enemy that he stays the enemy for me. He's very powerful, but he's very ignorant, like a Donald Trump these days. But anyway, I I don't understand the writing. I don't understand why with Storm, they have her hopping around, fraternizing and kissing on all these other guys in a couple issues. I think the last issue or the one before that, she's kissing on Logan and, acting like they're, got their thing. But for whatever reason, Marvel just will not let her rekindle and have a solid relationship with T'Challa. Don't know why, but at this point, I don't even want to see that anymore. I don't, that was a great thing for the past, but we really need to let that go and let T'Challa have a new love interest. I think that will be monumental for so many different reasons, and it also is going to open up a whole avenue for new things to come, with new adventures to come with T'Challa, as opposed to him fawning about Storm and he can't hang with the rest of the Avengers because Storm is there now and he's trying to avoid it. I think that's really stupid, and I don't know the editors or whoever is coming up with these concepts and is going down this path. It really sucks. But anyway, I just wanted to say this book, it was decent as far as the technicalities of it, but the storyline absolutely sucked for me. I really didn't like it, and I don't like the direction that they went in, except for the end, except for what happens at the end in Storm's evolution. Because in the end, I still want to see her win. I just don't want to see her with the ops. I even the regular guy that she was messing with, the other guy she was dating. What happened to that relationship? Why? I guess I got to go back and find out what happened with that one, but they be making her look real bad in comics, and as far as relationships go, and I don't know what I do know what the reason is for, but that's another story. Anyway, pick it up if you want to, support it if you want to. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So next up is Miles Morales Spider-Man, and this is issue number 29, being written by Cody Ziegler. Cody's been doing a great job. This particular issue, though, I think it was like a filler. I don't know where I want to hold the books up just so you guys can see it, but it was more like a filler thing. Showed the interaction between the Nazi and Bost, and the vampire. Can't remember the vampire god, whatever her name is, but showed that the little battle and everything. It was kind of silly because it was unconscious. Unconscious Black Panther. His body was being possessed by the vampire god and fighting Miles, and it was like a little psychological thing, all mental. But yeah, it was okay. It was cool, but I don't know. I could have passed on this particular issue. Cody does a great job otherwise, but this was just a pedestrian issue in my opinion. Now, the last two books, both are on DC, and I will have to say that the writing has been absolutely dope, and I'm gonna tell you why. All right, so first up is Black Lightning issue number 3, and this is being written by Brandon Thomas, and he always does a great job in my opinion. I don't think I've read anything of his that I've been like, he alright, but he always does. He always captivates and he holds a good story. This particular issue is exceptional for me because people don't know that other than being a photographer, I do have a regular 9-to-5 job. In my 9-to-5 job, I am a parent educator, specializing in father mentorship. I was a single father, and I've been a father for almost 30 years. Next year will be 30 years that I've actually been a father. And the relationship with between fathers and kids is such a delicate thing when we're trying to make sure that we're raising them right, and especially when they become adults. And I don't know if Mr. Thomas actually has adult kids or whatever, but the way he wrote this particular issue and the things that have been going on, has been so spot on when it comes to the relationship between a father and their child. In this case, father and daughter. So right now, the Steel, I can't remember what it is. Steel Laboratories, where Natasha and the family are there. They're doing some stuff. They're under attack by these villains and these metahuman villains, and Anissa is she still has the little bracelet on her or anklet on that's the dampener that's keeping her from her powers or whatever, because she hasn't learned how to control her new powers. And so Black Lightning has to come in to save the day because there's a big battle royale going on, and he gets to a point where he's talking to her and he's trying to get her to, control herself, trying to, he's doing what a father does. And basically she's like resistant, and they're having a moment. And in that moment, something else happens. And that's the climax of the story, but it sets it up for the next issue to be even bigger than this one. It's a really good read. I really enjoyed this one. I can't wait for the next issue to come out. And if you haven't been reading this, you definitely need to check this one out. Black Lightning #3, DC Comics. The creators are Brandon Thomas, and it's always an artist that I can't pronounce their name. Was it Faiso Osio? I can't even pronounce. That's yeah. So yeah, no disrespect to that artist. You guys. So I just can't pronounce that name, and it's with all things when it's a name that's a foreign name. It's always difficult. Shit. A lot of times English names are just difficult to pronounce. But anyway, y'all get the gist. Check out the book. Know that Brandon Thomas is writing it. I actually gave that one 4 stars on League of Comic Geeks. And actually, I'm gonna plug them in. There's no sponsorship, or they're not. They don't do anything but contain my pull list for each week. But League of Comic Geeks is how I track what I'm picking up each week. I can go in and I can see what's coming out and put it in my pull list. So when I actually get to the comic book store and I don't start wandering around and just picking up all kind of extra stuff willy-nilly, I know what I came for. And usually I can pick out the covers and I say, okay, this is what I'm going to get. And I can estimate how much it's going to cost. And so it's a great resource. You can go in and you can put your reviews, give it a rating. You can also track what you picked up, what week it came out, because some of this stuff, like this next book, actually came out last week. But I actually kind of picked up another cover thinking it was #4 and it was actually #1, just grabbing stuff real fast. But I was able to see that I missed #4 and I was able to go back and pick that up. So anyway, y'all check out League of Comic Geeks. I'll put the description down below. Actually, I think if I put my page link in there, you guys can see some of the stuff that I pick up. I don't know if it's like made public or whatever, but yeah, you guys check out League. And then also, like Wonder Waterworks, the comic book store that I was referring to, they actually can tap in. You can actually link them in, and they'll know what comic books is on your pull list. And when you go in, you can tap in and say, hey, these are the ones I want. You can send it to them or whatever other comic book shop. So I'm going to tell my man Sherrick down in Plant City at Plant City Comics Cafe. I'm going to tell him about it. And maybe, they can do the same thing. And maybe you can get your local LCS to do that as well. And it helps tremendously because a lot of times as comic book collectors, we also know that we go into comic book stores and then we see one thing and we forget about the other thing that we were there for, because I go in with intention, but I'm easily distracted. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but I am. All right, so the last book I want to tell you guys about on my Friday fallback is this Absolute Batman by Scott Snyder, and this is issue #4. And like I said, I picked up another #1, and if you look at them, you see the similarities in the cover. And so yeah, I picked up that and I was like, okay, big hulking Batman on the cover, and I just picked up the wrong one, so I had to wait till this week and I picked up #4, but it did not disappoint. This one shows a young Bruce Wayne, and he's on the stand and he's kind of reflecting on his earlier life as he started to become the entity as Batman. and some of his thought processes and why he chose the bat, everything like that. This is the best comic book that I've read. Even over Brandon Thomas's Black Lightning, this one was very fulfilling for someone who's not a big Batman fan. But this Absolute Batman has had me captivated each week, and I'm sure a lot of other people are feeling the same way. But this is the best read of the week. This is my choice as best read. So you guys definitely, if you haven't been checking it out, pick it up, because it's giving a lot of insight into the character of Batman and how this new Batman is, and he's if you've read issues 1, 2, and 3 and saw, how this one is different than a lot of the other ones. This one actually cuts loose and is a little bit more vicious, which I love. I hated the fact that, everybody's like, well, the Batman doesn't kill. This one, he may not kill, but he will knock your head off and chop your hand off and all other kind of stuff. So I kind of like that. So anyway, you guys check that out. This is the best read of the week for me. Batman is Absolute Batman, being written by Scott Snyder and artwork by Nick Dragotta. Nope. This week, I'm sorry, Nick Dragotta was on issue 1. Let me see. Got to give these people their props, So this one, the artist is Gabriel Hernandez Walta. So yeah, and then colorist Frank Martin, letterer Clayton Cowles, and yeah. So throw those people's name in there as well. So yeah, those are the things that I picked up. Some of the other stuff that actually came out this week, I don't know if you guys knew, but the Amazing Spider-Man 65 Deaths. Don't really know what that's about. Ultimate Wolverine came out this past week. I'm not a big Wolverine fan, like I alluded to earlier. I don't like Logan at all. I think he's a little dirty little rat, but a lot of people like him. I was actually in the comic book store when somebody came in trying to sell Hulk 181, and that's like one of the top grails that everybody is like fawns over. And I just thought it was funny because the comic book store manager came over and he was telling me about it. And the week before, I was just telling him that I don't like Logan, I don't like Wolverine, so I really could care less. But yeah, I just thought it was funny. Gunslinger Spawn number 39 came out. I do have to go check out The Question. I'm not sure who that's being written by, but I wanted to check that out. The Moon is Following Us number 5. Space Ghost number 9. If you've been checking out my channel, I've been picking that up, but I recently let that go from my pull list. Like I said, I'm just trying to cut down on some of the stuff that I'm buying, so I'm not just going crazy and just adding new stuff, because there's a lot of back issues that I want to add, and a lot of stuff that I actually want to runs that I want to complete. So all right, so yeah, so anyway, that's my Friday fallback for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys stick with me. I am going to put out another video tomorrow, something I have been working on that I want to reflect back on 2024 with. And like I said, I've been reading some older stuff. One of the things that I've been reading is Black Panther World of Wakanda. Going through my Black Panther boxes, I picked this up and I was like, hey, I need to read that series again. So I'm rereading this. I also just finished, I reread the Jungle Action run. And it was something else. I can't remember exactly what it was. I've been reading a lot lately. So, oh, I know what else I wanted to show you guys. Remember how I was talking about how I go into comic book stores and, like we all do, and then we go in there with intention on certain things we want to buy, and then something else catches our attention. So this caught my attention. This is Tomb of Dracula number 30, and this is another one of the appearances of Blade. I want to get like every appearance of Blade that I can, every appearance of Brother Voodoo, Dr. Voodoo that I can. And this is something that I didn't have in my collection, but was on my wish list. So I saw this one for a discounted price, and it's in decent condition. And I picked this one up as well. So yeah, that's the other thing that I wanted to show you guys. So that's what I picked up this past week. If you guys have any thoughts or ideas about, any of the stuff that I picked up, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. Other than that, hope you guys have a great Friday. And if you're watching this, after that, hope you're having a great day, period. And keep kicking it with me. This your man, Jay. Like, comment, subscribe to Evolutionary Comics. Continue to evolve. Peace.